Here we go.
And we're going
Live.
hi. Well, not really live. Because if we were live, this would be like now time. I actually wanted to go live one time, and she's like, no, let's not go live.
When was that?
When they canceled school. And I got in the middle of the street.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, so you guys, not all of you saw that. So when they canceled school in Kansas, this was back in March, right? And they'd like slowly trickled it out. They're like, okay, no school the day before spring break. And then no school until April 1st. And then they're like, no school until the fall. And it was like, ugh, right? So literally, Rachel, we filmed that night, and Rachel's getting ready to leave. And I said, Rachel, take my phone, get the camera on, and I'm going to go into the middle of the street. I'm like, you just have to be ready to take the picture. And she's like,
what?
huh? And so I go to the middle of the street, and I literally lay down in the middle of the street. I'm like, hurry, start snapping. Why? Because that's how I felt at that moment when they canceled school.
You wanted somebody to run you over?
Kind of.
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little. Anyways, cheers. Oh, here it goes.
I actually already had one of these today. No, we're gonna have another one.
You know, that wasn't as bad. It's because it's cold.
Yep.
Next one's gonna be terrible.
So
today we are going to discuss. Go ahead
and define what
sister
our
wives.
version.
Yes, our version, not the Mormon version.
Sister wives.
Yes,
are
because a lot of people are like, huh? And I'm like, I always say only in tasks. And tasks does not include anything sexual. I just want to put that out there now.
Right. So we're not polyamorous.
No.
We're not.
What are what is that called? Where you more than plural marriage. What is that called? A bigot? I think that's what it's called. You looked at me like, did you just say a bad word? A bigamist. I think that's plural marriage.
Polygamist.
Polygamist.
So a polyamorous person is like who has multiple relationships. Like I could have my husband and your husband.
Yes,
or
but
that
that's
would be
not the
polyamorous.
case.
Right.
Yes, no. We have one husband.
I
is
have
the
mine and
only
she has hers.
person that we are intimate with. God, I sound like my mother. Intimate. Anyways, so first, that's what we wanted. We wanted to get that out there right away. Sister wives only in tasks that are not sexual.
Like tasks like
laundry, cooking,
watching
cleaning,
each other's children,
painting cabinets, home remodels, light home remodeling.
Fine, yeah. Oh, who's texting you?
I don't. The husband. We're still on my phone.
Both of us are like trying to read the text.
Who's texting you? And I'm like, It said the husband. Anyways, my dad, it's never urgent. If it was urgent, he would call me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, when we say sister wives, first of all, I don't have a sister. Rachel does not have a sister. We're sisterless. And
I have a sister-in-law.
I have a sister-in-law too. But it's just different. Like, I see sisters and they do all this stuff together, and it's like a built-in babysitter and a built-in helper, or if they're bored or if they're stressed. I never had that.
That's us.
Yeah. So we have found each other. And it helps. And I told Rachel this probably a couple weeks ago.
We vent to each other about our children problems or day or, you know, how our husbands might have been an asshole the night before.
Occasionally.
But, you know, I feel like we don't.
But it's not going anywhere.
Right. And I don't judge Tyler differently. You don't judge Billy if I'm like, Billy was such an asshole.
Because I don't live with Billy. So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's very different being married to somebody and like just knowing somebody, like being friends with somebody, right? You're going to see the worst of that person because you see them all the time. So I expect Billy to have like
well, and probably Billy's on
his best
better behavior when other people are around.
And no, neither one of our husbands are like abusive or anything. That's not what we are saying. We're just saying they're different in, you know, public than they are at home. And that's true with everybody. I'm pretty similar to what I am at home as I am on camera. Would you agree with that? Yeah. And we're like, ooh. Yes. So,
but yes,
let's give an example of what a day would look like in the life of a sister life. So, I just I'm almost done with remodeling my kitchen. And when I say remodel, only aesthetically. I had hideous honey oak cabinets, which were the bane of my existence. And I filled all the grain, sanded some more.
Really, it's not a kitchen remodel, it's a cabinet remodel.
Yes,
mainly.
cabinet, well, and some of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, so I started doing this project 2.5 years ago. Yes, you heard that right, 2.5 years ago. And my parents invited us to go to Branson with them, and Branson like sucked the cabinet urge out of me. I'm not
why
kidding.
you stopped it?
Yes, and ever since we came back, I'm like, I just can't. So I blame Branson.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I finally picked it back up this summer, and Rachel was like, I'll help, and I'm like, huh? And she's like, yeah, I'll help. So,
but also, I'm volunteering to help because I'm gonna
help her after. Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah, and I agree with that. Yeah,
payback.
No, totally, because it sucks. It sucks ass to redo your cabinets. So, like one day, it was last Monday, she came over. She brought her girls. Sophie is like the best babysitter ever, is she not?
Seriously.
Yeah. So Sophie had her girls and Emery, and she watched them. We went to Lowe's and got shoe molding. You call it quarter round. Some other trim. She was in the garage priming and painting, and I was in the backyard. What was I?
Sewing both.
That's right. For our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we had an order.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So.
Yeah. So I was working on the cabinets, and she wasn't even working on them.
No, and I was working on stuff for our business.
And Amanda, how much of the cabinets have you got done since that day?
Since nothing. Nothing. However,
I'm like, those trim pieces are still on the sawhorses in the garage.
Literally everything, and this is a week and a day later. Wherever you left, everything is exactly where it is. Because I've had like other things going on. Well, let me explain too. First of all, my kitchen is almost done. It's like literally everything is painted.
Yeah.
We just have to attach trim.
Right, and you have to use a miter saw for that, and Tyler doesn't let her use the miter saw. And so that day I was like, is he going to let me use it?
Yeah, she's like, am I going to get in trouble? I'm like, he won't get mad at you.
She's like, well, do you know how to use it? And I'm like, yeah, I think so.
I knew when she said it. I'm like,
I did. I've used a miter saw before.
As long as you didn't cut your hand off, I didn't care what you did.
Really, I mean, a miter saw is like simple, and it has a guard.
Well, and we needed to make angled cuts.
Like 45 or 45 degrees.
Yes.
But then you have that corner in your kitchen where it does that funny thing. And
I was like,
it goes. I had to stop there because I was like, how do I?
She didn't know. But that's besides the point.
With the angled,
because
and I had to do.
We're gonna do a kitchen remodel, like reveal it someday.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's an example. Another example. A lot of times I, especially last year during the school year, I make a really good chicken pot pie. Right. And so when I make it now, I make 4 of them. And I automatically...
They're big, too.
Yeah, they are.
And, like, deep.
I have kids that eat a lot. So we'll eat an entire one in one night. And then you can freeze the other one or you can save it for the next night. So I just automatically make 2 extra and take it to her. Another example, when we got really crazy with our succulents, boxes, she would come over and do my laundry. Because I was working on our succulent boxes for our business.
And I felt like you painting the names or words on the boxes or whatever, like she's much better at that type of stuff than me.
I've done it for
Actually,
years.
she doesn't let me do that anymore because I lost the privileges of painting
it's
letters.
Not that it would take me longer to fix it.
Right. So, and then I feel bad because
I felt bad to have to tell her
working, right? And doing all the stuff for our business, like creatively, and I'm not. So I'm like, okay, I'll help you do whatever you need for a few hours around the house while you work.
Yeah. And so that's how it's a trade-off.
So Tyler will walk in and be like, hey, are these your boxers?
Yeah, exactly.
Or, Rudy, is this your shirt?
I keep finding shirts of Sophie's in my laundry and I'm like, that was Rachel. It's
really?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
But because...
Well, then Emery told me wrong because Emery would usually
probably.
If I don't know, I ask them.
In fact, one day I felt terrible. I was working on succulent boxes and she was upstairs with Emery. And Emery's room was a disaster. Like so bad that Emery could not have cleaned it herself. Well, she tried to clean it and she took all clean and dirty clothes and just shoved them in her closet. Everything, right? It was awful.
And then she had that 1,000-piece Lego set, and the Legos are all like
They're tiny, tiny,
this
tiny.
big, and I'm like, and
Just
they were
everywhere.
all over.
Yeah.
And
So
stuffed
I
animals
come
and-
upstairs and I'm like, where did Rachel go? She's on her hands and knees picking up Emery's room, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like,
You were working.
and I was worried, but so
And
it's a
Emery wanted
trade-off.
to. I was upstairs putting. Actually, Emery was helping me put away her clothes
Mhm.
because she was doing her chores and
Mhm.
helping and telling me where they went.
We'll use that term loose.
And so I saw her. I'm like, oh, when's the last time you cleaned your room? Like, do you want to clean your room? And she's like, we could surprise mommy and daddy.
It
And I
was
was like,
great.
let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, she's always down. She's like, let's
I
get
had
this
the
done.
hand vacuum because I
was
couldn't
using-
find the stick
I
or
was
something.
sanding. I think that's what I was doing.
Oh.
I was sanding, so I had the big
So I had
vacuum.
this little hand
Yeah.
vacuum. After we picked up everything, I'm like,
Mhm.
on my hands and knees vacuuming the floor with this hand
I
vacuum.
don't know. I don't think that room's been vacuumed since. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just not, because you're gonna judge me. I would judge me.
Does she
I do
play in
judge
her
me.
room very much?
No, because all of her toys are downstairs, and the reason is we have really, really steep steps, and so when she was younger,
Yeah,
I didn't want her going up and down. In fact, we had a gate there. Now that she's a little bit older, she has a little bit more toys, but that's something we're gonna change because I'm sick of toys being everywhere. Like when my other kids were younger, they had designated, their bedroom had toys and then playroom. No, Emery just has toys everywhere.
Mhm.
It's the baby.
When
you just give up.
Whenever we do decide to move, like I will have like a designated playroom. That is not because right now all of our toys are like in the living room.
Now I have them disguised in the living room, well, except for the grocery store.
See, and that's how my living room is.
Emery
too,
has a massive grocery store. It's really cool though.
right?
I
Check out.
actually asked for it. I did because I'm like, this is so cool.
Do you play with it?
No, but all the kids' friends, like, so Sophie's 12, Rudy is going to be 11 next month. All of their friends come over and play with that grocery store. It has a real cash register, even has like a little barcode reader.
Like scanner?
Yeah, Melissa and Doug. And I found it on clearance at Target for $80. And I called my mom and I'm like, this is what you need to get Emery for her birthday. So worth it.
Because you had already been done with her.
Yes, I was done, but I'm like, this is so cool. And everybody, like all the kids think it's cool.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a grocery store in my living room
Peyton likes to play with it too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
because it's cool. But besides that, another sister wife task, I guess we could call it that, when we redid your fireplace.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
that was like a long, I mean, it was just one day, but it was a long day.
Mhm. I finished tile I think at like 11 p.m.
And I went home at like 9-ish, 9-ish. But we had been over there since 11-ish.
Yeah, or like noon. Or
Yeah. If you hear somebody yelling, it's just my son. I think he's playing video games, so there's that. But so when we started helping each other back and forth, we didn't have a name for it, and somehow we're like sister wives. Yes. And Tyler, the year before that, Tyler had actually suggested, hey, why don't you talk to Rachel about like helping each other out with things? And I'm like, she's never gonna go for that. She has her own shit that she needs to get done. He's like, well, I know, but you guys like help each other. And I'm like,
Because
I don't think she's gonna go for that.
If there's like a project, this is how I feel about it. If there's like a project and it's like kind of daunting and you just kind of been avoiding
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
it's so hard to get that done by yourself. But like with
And
two
a parent.
people, yeah,
Mhm.
and to keep the house from
And
burning
when you
down.
have a big project, the rest of your house goes to hell in a handbasket.
Right, so it's
Mhm.
so much more efficient to have like two people
Mhm.
tackling something.
Yes, it's so much. I mean, seriously, we get so much shit done. Do you hear that? I just can't. We get so much shit done when it's the two of us together. We really do. Well, I texted you like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, I guess I was in like an emotional mood. And I'm not normally like emotional, am I? In
No.
fact, I said, this is my virtual hug. Like,
You said, this is my version of giving you a hug because she
Yes.
doesn't hug, right?
No, I don't hug. But so I was like, honestly, like in my personal life, I've never been happier. And it has to be because of her. Now, Tyler makes me happy, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't feel as overwhelmed now. And I feel like I have somebody I can talk to and that we like get each other and she doesn't judge me. And if I have something that I need to get done that I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen, I know I have somebody that I can ask for help and I don't feel
Or you can be
guilty
like,
about asking for help. And she's reliable. Like I haven't had that before. So this is like a huge blessing to me. Okay, I'm done being emotional and
Snappy.
yeah.
Thanks.
But so yeah, so it's been so beneficial. In fact, right before quarantine started, we wanted to set up a sister wife speed dating system.
Oh yeah, we wanted to help other
Yes.
people find their sister wife.
Because it's been so beneficial to us.
Like sister wife friends.
Yes, we think that like everybody would benefit from this.
They actually, like on our mom's group,
Mhm.
Bad Moms of Joko or whatever, somebody a while back had suggested like small groups of women, like 3-4 women,
Mhm.
that are in the same area, get together at each other's house to work on projects like that. Like, so they weren't like, they didn't necessarily know each other,
Yeah.
but that was the goal, is to help. And I was like, yeah, you guys are catching on to
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah. So someday, if this, as Emery calls it, the virus,
With a B.
when that goes away, maybe we'll do an event, a sister wife speed dating.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So
I
you
mean,
can
you're not
find
going to
your-
click with everybody.
All right.
She's the only person I could sister wife with. True. Oh my God, do you hear that?
Yeah. I wonder if they can hear that.
I'm sure they
It's just
can.
children. It sounds like they're wrestling. Does he have a friend over?
No.
Oh, huh.
No.
Oh, that's Emery too.
That's Emery, yeah.
Emery.
So Emery actually today, she said, Mommy, I think the virus is going to be over when I'm 10. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I'm like, we're going to need like some sedatives if that's going to be the case.
Peyton thinks the virus is going to be over by her birthday in September. I'm like,
Push that back. Actually, the kids, Sophie asked me yesterday, she's like, when's Peyton's birthday? And I'm like, it's in September. I didn't know when.
28th.
Maybe. I mean, school will hopefully have started by then.
It's not going to be over. That's in like 2
No, it's not
months.
going to be over, but I mean, maybe over enough you can have a birthday party.
Oh gosh, I kind of started thinking.
Yeah,
I never.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, you have a sister wife.
Thanks. You're gonna help me
Literally
plan
on
and decorate,
Peyton's
right?
birthday party last year, I said, does she have shoes to wear with her outfit? And Rachel hadn't even thought of this yet. And she's like, no. And I'm like, I got it covered. I was at Target. I picked up the gold shoes. And I'm like, this is a birthday. We'll just call this another birthday gift. Because she literally hadn't even thought about shoes.
Yeah, she had like a pink or coral shirt and like a gold like tutu thing.
Yeah.
And I was
No
like, I guess
shoes.
she has like some white sandals she could wear.
I'm like, Rachel, no, I will take care of this. And actually,
Oh,
the week before 3 days before the 4th of July, I said, so what is Peyton and Parker going to wear on the 4th of July? She's like, oh shit. And I'm like, I got it. And so I send her like 3 links and it's like,
This is on clearance for $8.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they were out of Peyton's dress, but I have a hand-me-down shirt
Yeah.
from Emery.
And I'm like, actually, you have Emery's 4th of July shirt that she wore 2 years ago and that will work.
Thanks.
Yeah. So there's that.
You know, we
So-
help each other clothe each other's
Yeah,
kids.
Yeah. And when I think of stupid like ideas that I want to do, she stops me.
Speaking of clothing each other's kids, I took Sophie and Emery to the pool the other day, right? And my girls. And so, first of all, I won't take my girls to the pool alone generally because
Because there's 2.
it's too hard.
Yeah.
by
And
yourself.
the youngest one is right at the
And
age
she
where
just
she would
wants-
just walk right into the pool.
And she just wants to get out and run around the pool.
Yes,
And I'm like,
yes.
"Ugh." So I don't go to the pool unless Billy's with me or my mom or my dad or
Mhm.
Sophie. Because Sophie, oh my gosh, Sophie's such a huge help.
So
And,
helpful.
you know, she wants to go swimming sometimes or whatever.
yeah.
But so we got done swimming and Sophie took the big girls to change. Emery didn't have a change of clothes or whatever. And I was like, oh, just take this shirt. I had one of Emery's shirt at my house
Mhm.
still because I'd washed it from when she slept over.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she didn't have panties. So I was like, hey, just try
Yeah,
it.
you're cool.
These ones of Peyton's. So she came out and she was wearing Peyton's shorts. She's like, those underwear did not fit me. So I'm just wearing the shorts. I was like, cool.
That's cool. She got home. That's the first thing she said. She's like, Mommy, I don't have an underwear, but, and I'm like, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. We're cool. So
So that's what
basically,
sister wives are.
you need to find one because your life will be so much easier and so much more doable. Like, you know, when you feel super overwhelmed and your kids are shit and your house is going to shit, especially during this pandemic, get a sister wife.
Can you imagine doing this?
No. In fact, one day, I think it was like it was early on, and I was still coming to terms with being at home indefinitely
For
with
6 months.
my spawns. And I was like, Rachel, will you come over and go on a walk? And she was like, Seriously.
You want to do physical activity?
She goes, Billy, something must be wrong. Amanda wants me to go on a walk. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, go. So she comes over and we start walking. And I walk really fast. I have really long legs. And she's like,
I'm really short legs.
wow, we're like really walking. And I'm like, what did you think we were going to do? I think she thought I was going to like sob.
She's like,
yeah, well.
not doing the like power walk thing, but she.
Oh no, there was a couple times that I'm like, swing your arms. I think she thought we were gonna go on like some depressed walk and I was gonna sob or something. Got her heart rate up. I felt better.
Yeah, I was sweating.
Yeah.
That was when it was still like
It was
cold
March.
outside.
Yeah. It was early on.
I'm like, why did I wear my coat?
Yeah, it was hot. We got, well, not because it was hot, but because I was making us work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So find yourself a sister wife. Hopefully someday we are going to have a sister wife event. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people would benefit so much.
They really would.
So
really would.
or hopefully some people already have one.
It's like a natural antidepressant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anti-anxiety too.
Whenever you just need to talk to somebody or somebody to help you do something or
vent,
suggest things
or tell you that you're not crazy.
Yeah.
Get a sister
Or
wife.
give you some words of encouragement.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Yep. That is exactly what we do.
No sleeping with husbands.
No.
No funny girl business.
No.
Just
tasks,
laundry and
friends.
stuff.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have a sister. I always tell my mom, I'm like, you cursed me in the genetic pool with not giving me a sister. I got 2 brothers, which are great, but they're not much help in like this regard.
Yeah, I don't see either one of them coming over and doing your laundry or
No.
stuff.
They don't. Well, I'm not gonna go there. But
I know where you're gonna go.
Yes.
Anyways, like,
subscribe, ring the bell,
and share. Follow us on
Instagram.
Instagram at Working for Free.
Go to our website though, because we have super cute back to school pencil bows. They're
If your
super
kids
cute.
ever go back to school.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well,
they will.
no.
It's-
If
maybe not.
you buy them, we're speaking it into existence.
Yeah. So go get one.
Yeah.
So then everything will be
School's gonna start back up.
fine. Okay.
Yeah.
www.workingforwardfree.net.
Mm-hmm.
You
Not
can find those
.com.
there.
Yes.
See you guys later.
Bye.